It's a little different between a man and a woman. The man is the provider. So therefore, a lot of men are asking these days, what do you bring to the table? We're finding out, this is statistics, shows, you talk about going to grad school. A lot of women, they are in financial debt because of college. So a lot of them, they're in a deficit. Who's who's being majority of the burden when somebody's in a deficit? It's most of them. You got broke men too, but let's be honest. So that's a question that is concerning to a lot of men. Whenever time they engage with a woman, no matter how she looks good, you know. So how do you address the first question?
And like I said before, you have to find, you don't make any presuppositions. So I have not had student loan debt for the past 15 years.
Yeah,
I've been out of debt,
that's awesome.
student loans, credit cards, from in my early 30s. And so don't make the assumption that because somebody's highly educated, they have a lot of debt.
Yeah,
Because there are ways to, first of all, go through college without debt.
true.
You must know those things,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Financial
Absolutely.
literacy.
Absolutely.
And there are ways to pay off your debt over a fast period of time. Check out that QR code. I have the process,
I'm checking
right?
it out.
So there are ways. So invest in yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I invested in myself quickly. That's the benefit of student loans. I invested in myself in a very relevant field that I knew I could get a good job and pay those bills. And then I'm financially literate to pay those bills. If you are in core value with me and understand that as an investment, then you'll respect it and not worry about even me bringing that debt to the table. Let's say I'm 28 and I had it.
Businesses. But also, I wanted to speak to the fact that and nowadays, what you see a lot of times is that the spouses of those highly educated women are willing to work with. Well, what I've seen from the platforms that I've been on and the testimonies that I've seen from people I've seen where the spouses of those well-educated women with a lot of student loan debt have actually helped them to pay it off, not necessarily out of their own pocket, but like helped them to come up with a plan to pay down that debt, a debt elimination plan, and they've done it, and that way it doesn't hang over the head of their marriage, or either they've made that a goal of their marriage, like, okay, before we go into this marriage in 6 months, we're going to make sure we pay off this debt together, or I'm going to help you, or either help you come up with a plan for it.
Could I add one more point to that?
Yeah.
I think one of the also uh, when it comes on to marriage is understanding your roles in the marriage, right? Um, and understanding that roles can change as it relates to philosophy and it relates to practicality. What am I saying? I run my own business. I still do the laundry. I still iron, right? There's things that I do in the house that my wife doesn't do. Why? Because we've talked about it and we have responsibilities that both of us have agreed to take on. So we have to realize that this is not the 1920s where you had one person work that could sustain a whole household and the other person stay at home and take care of kids.
That's true.
Those days are over
Yeah.
because of the cost of living and the stagnation of pay,
Yeah.
right? So if the cost of living continues to go up but pay does not, so now you need two people,
Two
two
incomes
incomes
per
for per
household.
household,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So you can't go with the same thought process on an old antiquated way of life to come to 2025 because it's not going to work, right? So we have to realize that as well so that we can have a better functioning marriage and lifestyle together,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
It does.
I and totally thank you for saying that, because sometimes it takes a man to say
No,
it.
no, no, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.